Early starts are a necessity when you're trying to master 5 Olympic disciplines. Ireland's Lanigan-O'Keeffe and Natalya Coyle are 2 of the world's leading modern pentathletes. They're a couple too, and they live and train together in Dublin.
So we're up at 6:30, we've just had our first meal of the day, and then we're going to head to the pool for our first training session in about 20 minutes or so.
Then we come back, have a nap, some food, and head back out again for running and shooting. And then after that, probably eat more food, then go for some gym, and then after that probably eat more food, and then go and do a fence.
So pentathlon is a really varied sport. There's so many events to it, so the days can be quite long. So we start quite early, and sometimes like last night, we didn't end till 9:30. So the whole day is quite long and spread out just to get all the different events in.
Modern pentathlon features swimming, fencing, shooting, show jumping and running.
Okay, so that's the first session of the day done. It was a swim. I'm heading off to a World Cup in a couple of days, so it was short and sharp. Lots of race-pace stuff, lots of rest. Feeling pretty good. But Natalya had something different?
Yeah, I'm not heading to the World Cup next week. I'm going to one in 4 weeks' time, so I had some more aerobic work than he did today, and just to keep me ticking over, and then I'll do some shorter, sharper stuff closer to my next competition.
But now it's time for more food.
It's time for more food, and then a bit of a nap, and then we've got the second session coming up later on, which is a run.
Fueling up is vital, and by 10 a.m. it's time for the duo's second meal of the day.
The way I got into pentathlon is kind of a random one. I was a swimmer when I was younger. I always wanted to go to the Olympics for swimming. I have history in my family, so my great-granddad went to the Olympics twice. And then I got into triathlon, which was, I was scouted to do that, and I was put on the Irish triathlon team without ever actually doing a triathlon. My mother didn't want me to do triathlon, so she found a sport that was similar enough to it, which was pentathlon. I went to a competition and I completely fell in love with it. And ever since then, I've been training and chasing the Olympic dream in the sport since then.
I got into it because when I was younger, I used to always do horse riding. So I started in the Pony Club Triathlon, where you do 4 out of the 5 sports, so running, swimming, shooting and horse riding. And then I just got involved in fencing along the way, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And about 10 years later, still here I am, 2 Olympics down and hoping to go to another.
Arthur finished 2018 ranked 3rd in the world, whilst Natalya was 6th. The duo have been improving year on year, and they're real medal hopes for next year's Olympics.
We've just had a rest, and we're just starting out now for our combined run shoot training session. So a little bit of a tempo run with some shoots in between. So we come into the range and we're going to shoot the target 5 times until it's green, and Arthur will explain a little bit more about it.
Well, I think you explained it most there. So yeah, we're just doing the combined session now. Again, I'm flying off for a competition pretty soon, so for me it's quite short, and we're just practicing the coming into the range, holding our composure, trying to shoot 5 shots and getting out and running again as fast as possible. So we'll come in now about 7 or 8 times.
In modern pentathlon, at the end of the event, the last event is the laser run shoot, what we're doing now. You run 4 800 metres with a shoot in between each one, and so you have to have the 5 green lights before you can leave the range again to run your 800 metres.
Yeah, it's really quite difficult as well, because the running and the shooting mentalities are completely different. Running, you're all the time trying to be aggressive, trying to catch people, and then when you come into the range, you need to become more zen, more relaxed, so you have to try calm and lower your heart rate as you're running into the range. Stay relaxed, take the shots, and then get it back up and ready to run again. So we're going to be practicing that in this session, where when you're coming in, you're trying to relax, you're trying to get your breathing back in order to enable you to be able to do some finite precision while you're actually really tired. So it's a real combination that is quite difficult to master, so that's why we do it a lot.
Home from home for the pair is the Sport Ireland Institute in Dublin.
So we just finished our run shoot, and then we got some food and we came straight to the gym and did a quick 45-minute gym session. I'm just activating all my muscles, getting more firing before the competition, and yeah, it was pretty good.
I did the same as Arthur. I finished my run, we got a little bit of food, and then headed to the gym where I did a good prehab session as well, because I've got a good bit of time for my next competition, so kind of have to make sure I stay injury free and also work on some strength and core.
Tokyo 2020 will be the couple's third Olympics. Arthur is 27 and Natalya 28. They're ripe for success at the Games.
So I've been to 2 different Olympic Games. I was in London and I was in Rio. In London I found out that I was going to compete in the Olympics only 3 weeks before because of a Polish athlete who failed a drugs test. So that was very much going for an experience. I was in a junior at the time. It was fine, I think it was 24th or 25th. And fast forward another 4 years and I went in this time with a lot more expectation. I won the European Championships the year before and was one of the favourites, but unfortunately the fencing didn't go my way at the start and I let the pressure get to me. So I was starting in 25th or 26th and managed to finish in 8th position. So I was really good. I managed to beat the Olympic champion every single event bar the fencing, but it's been really good fuel for my training for the last couple of years, and I'm hoping to go to Tokyo and get the job done.
I've been to 2 Olympic Games as well. I came 9th in London, which was a pretty big shock, I think, because I went ranked in one of the lowest athletes. And then I headed off to Rio then, and I came 6th in Rio. So the Olympic Games has been really good to me, so I'm hoping with the rate of progression 2020 will be better games again. This year has been going well so far, so I'm hoping to qualify for Tokyo 2020 this year. That's the big aim, because I think a lot of athletes get wrapped up in actually going to the games, but you've got to get qualification done first, and it's incredibly important. And some athletes are incredible and they just don't make it to the games. I want to make sure that I can get qualification to the games, and then I can think about what goes on there.
– 5 p.m. and it's time for their 4th and final training session of the day. The masks are on and it's all about fencing.
Fencing is a very difficult element to pentathlon. It's kind of one of the key ones as well. If you fence really well in the competition, you can really be on for a medal, so it's something really important to do. So today we just worked on some just small kind of technical elements. So I was practicing against the mannequin, just getting my point control really good, really fast, and making sure that my hand is in a really good position in the moves that I'm doing. So it's nice to do that outside of actual sparring, so you can just correct your moves and make sure that they're technically, proficient.
Yeah, so currently our fencing coach is waiting on a visa, so unfortunately he can't be here right now, but he did install a fencing arm, what we call Henry, and he's given me lots to practice with against Henry. So today I was just practicing my point speed. I was trying a few flicks, trying a few preparations in for attacks, and then every once in a while actually launching my attacking and going straight through. So they're the kind of things that I'm going to be using next week at the competition. And again, it's just all like the other trainings, all just sharpening stuff up and getting ready to perform next week.
We're just back at the house now, so we've got a load of washing to do from all the days kind of training sessions, and then we'll get dinner, and then we're probably gonna go to bed.
Might put on some recovery boots, do a bit of stretching, might have some Epsom salts in the bath, but for today we're out, over and out. Yeah.
It's been a long training day today, just like most normal days, but it's great because obviously I live with Arthur, so some days, if I'm really, really tired, he can take the load by maybe doing more of the cooking or the driving, or some days when he's tired, I can do the same. And also I think it really helps when you know that someone else is really training as hard as you, and they're also just as tired as you, they understand.
Yeah, it actually helps a lot, just going through every day and holding each other basically through these training sessions, because some days Tal could be, as she said, really, really tired, and I might have the energy to be like, come on, we can go do it, and vice versa. And it also means when you get home, sometimes if you're living with other people that don't do sport, they're like, oh, let's go for beers now, let's go out. And you're like, no, I can't.
We're like, let's go to bed.
Let's go to bed, let's order a pizza, let's put on some recovery boots. Yeah, but it does actually make a difference going through something like this with someone else. You can draw strength from each other, and also you're around focused and like-minded people, which really helps you kind of excel and not feel sorry for yourself, actually. In general, it's pretty good. It's worked so far anyway. So.
Yeah.
And that's a day in the life of leading modern pentathletes.